my name is Random Tuesday, and in this video I'm going to talk you through my Vera for Monster Prom cosplay. You can also head over to my website in the links below for more information on this and many other cosplays, as well as check out my other cosplay tutorial videos, including one on the makeup look for Vera. And with that, let's get started. The base of Vera's cosplay is her very sleek little black dress. Now this dress I made out of a 4-way stretch lycra-based fabric, and this particular one has like a little bit of a sheen to the surface. It's not a pleather strictly, but it does kind of have that glisten to it, which I wanted to have because I felt like she would be a shiny sort of character. That being said, you could get away with doing just a matte black or some other type of lycra. Just make sure it is a stretchy material because you're going to want to make this as tight as possible. It really is a sausage casing. You're going to bring it in all the way along the side seams, and then I also added some bust darts here at the side to, one, stop the armholes from gaping, but also to make it fit even more tightly. On top of that, I then have her necklace. Now, I made this necklace out of 2 layers of warbler that I shaped just a little bit to kind of curve along the chest. And then because I knew I was going to be wearing the jacket the whole time, I didn't worry about having this be a full necklace. I just sewed it directly to the straps, essentially, of the dress, and those will be hidden underneath the blazer once it's on. The outer layer of her costume is the jacket, and I purchased this online and altered it to fit, although you could make it from scratch. I did have a hard time finding a color, as I was originally thinking of making it from scratch. This design in particular does have some adjustments that are not completely accurate to the costume. For example, the slightly puffy shoulders, although I like that it gives it kind of a broader, more stately look. And it does also have a button, which hers doesn't have. I decided to stick with just a gold button because it looked classy, it kind of matched with her jewelry, and I think having a buttonhole without a button would have been weird. And it also gives me the added flexibility of being able to do it up. I did do some shaping. I really brought it in along the side so that when it does sit open, it's not hanging kind of baggy and is instead a very slim fit. And I also adjusted the hemline here to make it shorter and also square it off in the front. Her other accessory are her bangles, and these were started out as just plain wooden bangles to decorate on your own that I then painted gold to also match with the necklace. She also wears a pair of black high-heeled pumps. In my case, I had some round-toed Mary Janes, so even though they had a strap and were slightly less accurate, these shoes are ones that I have intentionally because they are comfortable to wear as a cosplay. Interestingly enough, her heel is relatively moderate, so pretty much any pair of black round-toed pumps will work. The next aspect of her costume is her green skin, and I decided to go with kind of a dual strategy on this. I made some tights, or I dyed some tights for the legs to match close enough to the color that I wanted. These started out as white Capezio tights that I then dyed using the RIT Dye More synthetic dye. That will work on nylon material, which is what these are made out of. I used a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow, mixed them together, but realistically I needed very, very little dye. You will want to mix the green and the yellow, at least if you're using the RIT dye, as the green on its own is very blue, and she is a much more sort of ashen, kind of yellowy gray green. For conventions on her arms, rather than painting them, I did something similar. I made gloves, essentially, or arm socks, as some people call them. And these were done in the same way. They were white tights that I then dyed to be the correct color and stitched around each of my fingers to make them, not while I was wearing it, but stitched around a template of my fingers to make the fitting for the hands. And then I stuck on these long nails. So these were acrylic nails that I purchased and then painted purple and then super glued them onto the top. I did this partly because I didn't want to have to paint my hands for a convention, and I in particular didn't want to have to paint my hands and then also wear purple talons all day at a convention. For her face, I ended up using makeup, and I have another tutorial video that I talk about and show you the process that I used to create her green face look. So definitely go and check that out. The final part of her costume, and perhaps the most distinctive portion, is her hair, which is made of snakes! So to make this, I had a bunch of, basically each of these is an individual strand plushie snake with a wire in it and a little face on it that I then stitched together in order to make the wig all the way around to really cover my head. Underneath, there's a fabric cap that I made that's the correct size with some elastic in the back to make it fit. There is a pattern and more information on how I made this wig, as well as some detailed images of how all of the snakes kind of fit together over on my website. So definitely don't hesitate to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. As always, check out the links below for information, resources, and tutorials on this and many other cosplays. You can also check out my other YouTube videos or catch me live on twitch.tv/randomtuesday, where I'm always happy to answer questions. Lastly, and never leastly, thank you to each and every one of my patrons over on Patreon who made this cosplay and this video a reality. If you're able to, a small monthly amount can help keep this and so much more content coming. Thank you so much for watching.